One Friday morning in January 2019, a 12-year-old boy woke up to get ready for school. This was a normal morning for him, just like every other school day. But this morning would turn into the worst day of his life. The boy lived inside a hotel called Etashol Hotel and Suites, located in the Ojodu Berger area of Lagos State. The owner of the hotel was Mrs Abimbola Olusola, and this woman was his mother. Every school morning, the hotel manager, a man named Tunji Omikunle, would wake the boy up and prepare food for him before school. But that morning, Tunji did not come to wake him. So, the boy decided to go and wake his mother himself. He walked to her room, expecting to see her getting ready to help him dress up and eat breakfast, like she always did. But what he saw when he entered the room would turn his world upside down. His mother, Abimbola, was lying on the bed, totally unresponsive, and also foaming at the mouth. She did not answer when he called her name. Not understanding what was happening, the innocent boy shook his mother gently and told her to wake up and go brush her teeth. He had no idea at that moment that his mother was already dead. Confused and scared, the boy left his mother's room and went to find Tunji, hoping the manager would explain what to do and also prepare his food like always. But when he got to where Tunji slept, he found him also lying unresponsive, with blood coming out from his mouth and nose. This was clearly too much for a 12-year-old boy to process. Fear took over him. He did not know what to do, so he ran back into his own room, got himself dressed for school, and sat there quietly, waiting for a school bus to arrive as if everything was still normal. When the school bus finally came, the boy stepped outside, ready to leave for school as if nothing had happened. But at the gate, he ran into one of the community security guards on duty. The guard had already been suspicious about certain movements he had noticed happening around the hotel the night before. The guard asked the boy where the manager was and also where his mother was. The boy told him he could not find the manager anywhere. Still uneasy, the guard told the boy to go back inside and check on his mother instead. The boy walked back into the hotel and returned to his mother's room. This time, he looked closer, and what he saw made him scream in fear. It was now clear to him that his mother was not sleeping. She was actually dead. The boy ran outside shouting for help. The guards rushed into the hotel with him and found both Abimbola and Tunji lifeless in their separate rooms. It was at this point that a call was placed to the police. Mrs Abimbola had lived in London in the United Kingdom for 35 years before she decided to return home to Nigeria. She came back to Nigeria in December 2017 with a dream of settling down and starting a business in her home country. She began building a 2-story hotel with 20 rooms and named it Etashol Hotel and Suites. The hotel was completed and opened for business in March 2018, and Abimbola moved into one wing of the building, turning it into her personal living suite. She was 56 years old, a mother of 4 children, and was known among her staff as someone who returned from London with money, which many people around her believed had made her a target. When the police arrived at the scene, they began their investigation immediately. At first, everyone assumed this was a simple case of robbers breaking into the hotel to steal money. But there was something the criminals did not think about. The hotel had CCTV cameras recording everything that happened on the property. While going through the footage, the police spoke to the community security guards on duty that night. The guards revealed something very important. Around 3 in the morning, they had seen 3 staff members of the hotel trying to leave the premises. The staff members told the guards that the manager had sent them to get a taxi for a customer, but the guards noticed the men were carrying a gas cylinder with them, which made them suspicious. The guards refused to let them pass and told them to go back and call the manager to confirm the story. The men went back inside, but they never returned to the gate. This was one of the biggest clues that helped the police piece together what really happened that night. Using the CCTV footage from inside the hotel, the police were able to identify the people responsible for the 2 murders. All the men involved were either current or former staff members of Etashol Hotel and Suites. One of the men, named Vincent Ehizoje, was arrested by the police in Port Harcourt, Rivers State, a city in a different state entirely, where he had run to hide after the killings. The other suspects were named Henry Lolo, Okechi Ezi, and 2 contract staff members known only by their nicknames, Dubai and Dangote. During questioning, Vincent gave a full confession to the police that revealed not just exactly how the murders happened, but also why it happened. According to Vincent, the group of men felt their boss, Abimbola, was too stingy with money and paid them very poor salaries. They believed they had no future working for her and that she would never treat them any better. Since Abimbola had just returned from London, the men believed she must be carrying a lot of foreign currency and cash, so they decided among themselves to rob her. To carry out their plan, the men first needed a way to reach the manager, Tunji, without raising suspicion. So one of them approached Tunji and asked to borrow his phone, claiming he had run out of airtime and wanted to call a friend. Tunji hesitated at first, but eventually gave out his phone. He had no idea that this simple, harmless request would later be used against him in the most horrible way imaginable. With the plan now set in motion, the men agreed that Henry, who was a chef in the hotel, would prepare noodles for the staff members on duty that night. But this was no ordinary meal. Henry laced the noodles with a sleep-inducing drug before serving them to the staff who were not part of the plan, making sure their own portions were left clean. The plan worked. One by one, the innocent staff members who ate the drugged food fell into a deep sleep, completely unaware of what was coming. But there was one person the plan did not account for properly, and this person was Tunji, the manager. He was already asleep before the poisoned noodles could even be served to him, which meant he never ate the drugged meal at all. In the early hours of the morning, the men used the phone number they had collected earlier to call Tunji and wake him up. Sleepy and confused, Tunji answered but spoke incoherently. That was the signal the men needed. They made their way upstairs to where Tunji was sleeping at the reception area and blindfolded him. As they searched him for the key that would open Abimbola's suite, Tunji suddenly woke up fully and began to struggle against them. A violent fight broke out. The men overpowered him completely and proceeded to strangle him to death. However, when they searched his pockets, the key was nowhere to be found. With no key, the men moved to Abimbola's suite and forced the door open. Inside, they found a terrified and defenseless woman staring back at them. She begged them to take anything they wanted as long as they spared her life. But the men ignored her pleas. They tied her hands and legs and began ransacking her room, searching every corner for cash and valuables. During the struggle, Abimbola also lost her life. She was strangled, just like Tunji before her. After going through everything, the men only managed to find 50,000 naira in cash, along with some jewelry and personal items. It was nowhere close to the fortune they had imagined finding. Worse still, when they tried to leave the hotel with their stolen loot, they realized that a police team was stationed close by and they feared being stopped and searched. Panicking, the men abandoned everything they had stolen right there inside the hotel and fled through a different route to avoid being caught. Their escape did not last long. Vincent was eventually tracked down and arrested by the police in Port Harcourt, where he had gone into hiding. The other men who took part in the crime went on the run and were never brought to justice the same way Vincent was. Vincent was arraigned in court and remanded in custody while the case moved through Nigeria's legal system. 4 years later, in July 2023, an Ikeja High Court found him guilty of murdering both Abimbola and Tunji. The judge ruled that Vincent's own confession, along with strong evidence from the case, proved beyond doubt that he took part in the killings. In her final judgment, the judge sentenced Vincent to death by hanging. There is no available report that the remaining members of the gang were ever arrested or prosecuted, which makes us believe they are still in hiding. What are your thoughts on this case? Share your opinions in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe to this channel or page for more true crime stories.